In this lesson, we are going to be looking at the Song of the Women of My Land by Oumar Farouk Sesay. We'll be looking at the background of the poem, the setting, the summary, and the analysis of the poem. Oumar Farouk Sesay is a Sierra Leonean who has written a lot of poems, especially the thematic concern of his poem cut across the African experiences, especially the experiences of women in traditional African society. So this poem, The Song of the Women of My Land, captures the experiences, the oppression, the frustration of the women, of African women in traditional societies. So the poem consists of about 9 stanzas, irregular 9 stanzas of unequal lines. So we'll be looking at them from stanza 1 to stanza 9, and then we'll do the analysis of the poem, the setting, and the theme. Also, we'll be looking at the poem also. So let's see. This is the background of the poet. He's a graduate of Rabat College, a university in Sierra Leone, and he's one of the notable poets from Sierra Leone. And of recent, you can see that in African literary texts, both in poem, in drama, some of the Sierra Leoneans are coming up, like Oumar Sesay, who is the poet, who is the writer of this poem, and also Let Me Die Alone by John Kulosa Kagbo, a drama text from Sierra Leone also. So the Sierra Leoneans are gradually coming up in the area of African text, and some of the thematic concerns has to do with rural areas and the position of women in the society. So let's see from stanza 1. Like a sculptor chipping away at bits of wood, time chises away bits of their memory. Now, this is a reference to the woman, that the memory of the woman is being eroded, just as sculptor chips away wood to carve an image. So the memory of the woman is being wiped out gradually. So let's look at stanza 2. It strips away lyrics of the song of the women of my land. And as the memory is being wiped away gradually, what's happened is the song of the women is gradually also being forgotten. The lyrics of the song of the women of my land is also gradually being forgotten, leaving only a fading tune echoing the song. That is the humming, the sound that is almost remaining. The remaining of the song is now is faded away. So this is just a sample of a sculpture and a sculptor. So from stanza 1 and stanza 2, the reference to sculpture and sculptor, you can see it in this graphic image here. This sculpture, and also this is a sculptor chipping away the wood to carve an image of a man. So let's look at stanza 3. They sang in the forlorn field. The forlorn field is a sorrowful field. So the women sang in the sorrowful field, that the song of sorrow, about their lives. So their song is about their life. It's about their situation, about the state in which they found themselves. So they sang sorrowful song in sorrowful fields. That is what this line 1 and 2 in stanza 3 mean. So let's look at line 3. Of how they plow the train of their landscape, for memories of lyric lost in the vast void of time. In those days when a song beheaded their lives, when servitude carved the ankles of their soul, and dereliction decapitated the epic of their lives. So they sang song as they were plowing the land, working in the farm, talking about the oppression, their servanthood, their state, and how they suffered in the traditional African society to bring up their children. And in the traditional African societies, in most societies in African countrysides, women are even the one feeding for themselves. They are the one taking care of themselves and their children. They work hard in the farm. They work hard and sell some of the produce in the market to take good care of themselves. So here you can see the second to the last line, when servitude to cuff the ankles of their soul. That is, they are being pressured, they are being coerced into form of servitude, in the form of a submission by their husbands and by the society. So let's look at stanza 4. With a song, they spunk off their anguish to behold their collective pain. So the song portrayed their collective pain, their collective situation, and to celebrate their gains, give lyrics to the tomb of their lives, and cheat the tyranny of time, and commune with the yet unborn, to give meaning to an epoch lost in antiquity. So the song is their memory. The song is what is being used to remember the women as kind has taken away their memory. So what is left to be remembered of the women now is not their effort in the farm, it's not their working hard, it's not their hard work. They are not celebrated at all as regard their hardworking status in the communal society. What is being used to remember them now is the song only. Now, let's look at stanza 5. Yet time stripped the lyrics and scars the tomb, leaving a dying song. Now, the song that is being used to remember them now, the lyric is being forgotten as a result of time, as a result of the coming of new age, as time unfolds. So the song is being forgotten. The lyric is being forgotten by the new generations. So the song now is now a dying song. Now look at line 3 in this stanza 5. Dead. That is, the song is totally dying. From dying to total death. Is now died. Is now dead. Now, like the woman who died long ago, leaving the song to tell the story of their lives. Now the woman died long ago, and the witness to their effort is the song. Now the song is also died. The song is also dead, like the woman. So the memory of the woman now is being totally forgotten. Now look at what's happening in the contemporary now. In stanza 6, today the tomb roams the fallen feet, like they are so looking for lyrics to tell the tale of the servitude. Now the fallen field now is deserted because the women walking in the field, singing in the field, are no longer alive. So what is remaining in the field now is the tune of the song. And the tune of the song is also looking for the lyrics. The lyric is being forgotten. So what is left in the field now, it is not even their memory or what they have worked for. What is left is a tomb without a lyrics. And the tomb is looking for the lyric to do what? To tell the tale of their servitude, the tale of their oppression, the tale of their working hard, taking care of their children. Now, to tell the tale of the servitude of the women of my land, who plowed their soil and soul for a song to sing the story of their life, the song of the women of my land, left in the memory of my wind. Now, what is having the memory of the song of the women now is the wind. The people have forgotten it. The society have forgotten about the memory and the heroic deed of the women. What is left for them is the memory, which is only in the wind. Now, look at stanza 7. Now, feeding the verses of poets. It echoes in ringing in rhythms and melodies. Now, the memory that is left in the wind now is being used by the poet to construct a reading for the women in the verses, that is, in writing the poem. So, hollering in distant tune, no, the tune is very far away in the wind, in places for our feet, the fallen feet, where the song of their lives died. Now, the reading now is going to the fallen feet also, where the song died, to get the lyrics, to get the tune, so that the song of the women cannot be totally forgotten and can be incorporated into verses, like in the poem now. So look at stanza 8. The stuttering lips of my pen. Now what is singing the song now is the pen of the poet, as it has been forgotten by people, and the memory is only in the wind. So what is singing the song to remember the woman now is the pen of the poet Oumar Sesay. Now look at the second line in stanza 8. And the screeching voice of my rib. Two things are singing the song of the women now. The rib of the poet. The rib of the poet. You know rib cage, rib in the chest area. So as he's bending to write, the pen is singing the song of the women, and also as he's maybe making a little sound, he considered that also to be the song of the women that the rib is singing. Then let's look at line 3. Try to sing the song of the women of my land in verses, far from the theater of toy. Now he is now far from the theater of toy is that fallen feet. Now the song is no longer being sung in the feet. Now it is in the room, through the pen and the rib of the persona of the poem. So we look at the next line, where they left a song that now roams the land, strip of lyric like a scorned ghost. Now it's comparing the situation of the song to a scorned ghost, that is a goat that is abandoned, a goat that is not attended to. So the song is left unattended to, either by the people or by the society. So whatever that is attending to the song only now is the wind. Now the tune turning the tenor of my verse is all that remain of the song of the women of my land, who labored and died, living a dying song. The dead of their lives. Now in stanza 9, the poet has declared that the poem, the song of the women of my land, is a dirge. And I believe you know what is a dirge is. A dirge is a song of money in memory of a dead one. Then we have dirge, we have elegy. These are the two poems that can be a talk about money, that talk about money. But dirge is in memory of a die one. So look at it, and I also want you to look at this activity. Maybe you can do it probably. What do you find admirable about the poem? Explain why you do so. You know, this poem is a very heroic poem, a poem that remembers the effort of mothers in African lands. And as you can also might have seen or experienced in traditional African societies, most women are not celebrated, especially the women that go to farm to make ends meet, to cater for the family, to provide for their children. Some of them even farm, work hard, give the money to their children for education purpose, and even sell their wrappers, their clothes, in order to pay the school fees of their children. And those women died living a song, and the song is also dying now, or the song is dead. So there is nothing to remember them. So they are unsung heroines. Okay? So in Africa, women have come under the yoke of oppression and subjection by their men, especially the women in the traditional African society. And in some of the African societies, the major thing that the man do is getting married to a woman. So after getting married to the woman, the land is available for the woman to fund and cater for herself. And in some cases, the woman also left with her children to cater for the children. So when you give birth to children, as a woman, you shoulder the responsibility of the education, the nursing of the child, and the education of the child in some African society. And that is what the poem portrays. So we see that the condition of the woman is so depressing, and the way of coping with it is singing away their sorrow and hoping for a new dawn of joy. So this is particularly applicable to the peasant women in the rural area who toil daily in the sun and contribute to the sustenance of their family and country, but were left unsung. They were not celebrated, they were not rewarded, they were not awarded anything for their effort, for their labor. So such can be depressing in a way that you labor so much and you were not even, it is not even noticed by those who you labor for. And that is what Farouk Sesay portray in this poem. So the setting of the poem is in Sierra Leone. As I told you that the poet is from Sierra Leone, he portrays what happened in the countryside in the Sierra Leonean society. And most probably the poem is set in Masingbi, in the Tokonlili district, where the poet comes from. So in the rural region, women's primary occupation is farming. So the time, the setting of the poem is clearly in the distant past, as suggested by such phrases as the vast void of time. In those days, an epoch lost in antiquity, long ago. And can we attribute it to the modern society? Yes, in the modern society, especially in traditional areas, women are also going into farming, though some of them can go to other vocational skills like maybe fashion designing, hair making, and other vocational skills. But in some traditional society in Africa, in this contemporary society, in modern day, in this 21st century, women are still going to farm and shouldering the responsibility of their family. So let's also, I try to pen down the summary of the poem, and as I have earlier explained, the poem is a meditation on the plight of African women, especially those in the peasant area who were not celebrated, were subjected by their men and oppressed. And you know, traditional African society is a patriarchal society dominated by men, and women are believed to be subjected to the rules and caprice of the men. So they do not have their will, or their will are not allowed to carry the day, except in certain instances. So the lyric of the song of this poem consists of the stories of their lives. Unfortunately, are hardly remembered today. So the women are heroines, uncelebrated, unsung heroine. And also, I want you to look at these questions and try to answer them on your own with reference to the poem. Discuss the importance of song in Africa. Yes, you know, one of the importance of song is that it keeps memory alive. It is a reference to the past. So you can bring more importance and then try to answer this question. And then time is presented in the poem as quite powerful. Do you agree? Yes, because time is not only powerful, but time is a custodian of memory according to the poem. And as the time erodes, as time unfolds, the memory of the woman is being forgotten. So you try and answer this, and then in the subsequent video, we are going to be looking at the black woman, which is, I think, is also another African poem. Um, then I really wish you also click the notification bell and subscribe so that you can be notified when another video is done.